Hi, Aries Seeker. Welcome back. Thank you for joining me. And welcome to all seekers who are joining, regardless of your sign. This will be a reading for Aries energy, though. Um, so, you know, apply it to wherever it fits in your chart or for cross watching, etc. Okay, Aries, Cancer season. I'm working with the Golden Universal Tarot. They're gorgeous. Aries, happy solstice. Summer solstice, June 21st. Seven of Wands, Queen of Wands. Someone else had the same combination. This is fighting for something or standing up for something that you're very passionate about. This could be a person that you really care about, or if you're this Queen of Wands, then this could be something that you really care about. A craft, a talent, a aspiration. Whatever this is, it is led by your passion, by your gut, by your instincts and your desires, and in a good way. Desire is the thing that keeps the world go around. If you ever hear someone demonizing desire, passion, goals, aspirations, it's because they're scared. They're scared of themselves, they're scared of failure, and they're projecting. But never let that degrade you. A lion, or in this case a lioness, doesn't need a sheep's approval to know it is a lion or a lioness. And definitely don't allow anyone to cut your legs to fit their small cage. You don't belong in a cage. You belong on top of a mountain with your intuition, with your instincts, and with your talents, leading. You came here to lead, Aries. That's your nature. That's your ethos. You were born to lead. You are the fire of creation, cardinal fire. It is powerful. Some people find it inspiring and amazing. Some people find it terrifying. Can't control how everyone interpret life or how they interpret you. If you're doing right by you and by your environment and by truth, that's the best you can do. Being talented is not something to be ashamed of. And yet, they make you feel like it. Like there's something wrong with you for being skillful, capable, charismatic, talented, passionate. How dare you, Aries? How dare you be so powerful and amazing? The way people take away power from others, and people who do that are people who are into power themselves, who are actually into power. They do that by projecting this, deflecting actually, onto you or onto others. They take your power away by saying that you're only into power. And then they take that power. So what does that make them? If not all about the power. You went to such length and extent to lie or to manipulate or to distort the narrative about someone, and you're not into power. Listen between the lines. This is not a good time to listen to gossip. This is a time to listen to the source. of whatever this is. No broken phone, no third party's information. Direct, go to the source. Ask the right questions. 8 of Swords, 5 of Wands. If you don't know how to ask the right question, you will not receive the right answers. You will receive very deflective answers. And if you want to believe it, you will believe it. No one can prevent anyone from believing in what they want to believe. Reality doesn't matter, facts don't matter, nothing matters. When someone genuinely wants to believe in something for whatever reason, they will believe in it and hold on to it no matter what. This is an energy that holds on, that fights for something, that keeps them imprisoned and stuck and miserable. And they fight for it at all cost. Don't fight those people. Don't try to make them see. The more you try to make them see, the less they will see. Just keep doing. Keep being. And please be unapologetic about it. Because when you have good intention and you want to appease the conflict and you put on an apologetic persona or behavior in ways of being polite or being nice or trying to, connect, and maybe that way creating more attention or room for them to listen, they're only going to use that against you. Oh, they're being apologetic is because they have something to apologize for. Again, when someone wants to find something, they'll find it. When someone wants to think something, they'll think it. When someone wants to believe in something, they'll believe it. And when they don't, they won't. Just lead by example and don't look back. If you look back, if you'll try to make them see, you'll just stay stuck there in their frequency. Fight for yourself right now, Aries. I know, maybe class watchers will be like, oh, Aries always fight for themselves. No. Aries are the hero of the zodiacs. Aries fight for others, and they fight for what's right, and they fight for what they believe in. And if they know that they're in the right, then they will fight for themselves. But Aries are also the first to come forward and be like, I was wrong, or I'm sorry, or what can we do? They're idealists. They have a vision. They have passion to life, to make the world a better place. That's why Aries get so upset when people lie to them, or upset when they recognize hypocrisy. Aries are very blunt because, people can sometimes, oh, Aries is rude. No, Aries is very, very honest. And the only people who find Aries to be rude are people who lie. And then Aries call them out on it. And instead of being like, oh, you called me out on a lie, they're like, oh, you're so rude. And they'll probably say it out loud for other people to hear without knowing the context of why you just said something to them. You can't help them, Aries. Sorry. Move along. Nine of Swords. I'm telling you, you're going to entangle yourself in a very gunky situation. The more good you'll try to do, the more it will get complicated and gunky. Let it go now. We're going from 3 of Swords to 8 of Swords to 9 of Swords. From 7 of Wands victory to being in the rut and getting bruised by it. Don't let it get to it. This is why there's tarot. This is why there's this channel. It's not to just tell you how things are going to be. This is the potential, and now you choose. Advice. Bottom of the deck, Ace of Swords. So it could be Nine of Swords, it could be Ace of Swords. Which one in it? You're gonna have, which one is it? You're gonna have to cut. Cut out the bullshit. Don't waste energy on it. Don't waste energy. They want to bait you. They want to bait you. They want you to fail yourself. Are you going to let that work? Because, yeah, you're right. But is it wise? Let the planets run their course. Right? Neptune is going, not Neptune, Mercury is going direct in Cancer season. Jupiter is going retrograde. Jupiter is Zeus. It's like the All-Father. It's retrograding in first Pisces, but then Aquarius. The higher ranks of the world will have a lot of introspection. The leaders of humanity, the leaders of spirituality, they'll have a lot of introspect with that energy. And their mind will work properly in assessing and understanding the understandings. Everything is going to show itself. Just keep moving. It's not the time to stop and convince and convince and convince. No. They'll come to you. If someone comes to you and asks you the questions, sit down with them because they're in an attentive mode. They're in listening mode. They want to know. They came to you. But if you come to them, it will be like you're trying to convince them with something. It's not going to work. Show me more for Aries, for Cancer season. Oh, flipped. King of Pentacles, that has been coming up all the time. This Capricorn energy. Someone is holding back from, they want to, they're observing you. And they're holding back from making an approach. They want to assess the situation more, and then they'll come to you. Keep doing what you're doing. This could be someone observing your work, considering offering you something. Show me more for Aries, please. Oh, they'll make the approach when they feel like it's time. Knight of Swords. You'll know when they want to talk or when they want to offer. You'll know. Moon, and they'll come with a lot of questions and a lot of confusion and a lot of misinformation. And you're going to have to really appease the energy and soothe them, because I think they're going to be pretty rattled and upset. So if they're a little bit hyper with the energy, or a little bit dramatic, or just understand where they're coming from. It's hard for them to do this. It's hard for them to approach you that way. There's something very confusing about this situation that you can possibly bring clarity to this. Guys, keep in mind, this could always be reversed, right? Place yourself in the narrative. Also, if someone is trying to get to you somehow, or like get you, they can't. Like, they're going to be surrounded by mist and fog that won't allow them to get to you. So don't worry about that if you're worried about something like that. Like, energies will be very supportive in like preventing them from seeing the path to you clearly. If the intent is ill, if they come with ill intent. Four of Pentacles. You don't trust them. Yeah. You don't have to talk to anyone you don't want to talk to. And also, when they'll come and want to talk, they'll be very protective and guarded, wanting to listen but also arguing, right? They're trying to hold on to some sort of comfort zone, something that has kept them stable for a long time. And I think they'll be carrying it for a while, and then they won't be able to hold it back anymore, and then they'll come to you. And then you're like, okay, why did you come here to talk to me if all you're going to do is argue with me or tell me that I'm wrong or try to avoid listening, right? You know, so you're going to have to be really, really patient with the conversation if that's the case. Okay, can we move on from this, please? Anything else for Aries for Cancer season, please? Anything else for Aries for Cancer season? Okay. Knight of Pentacles. I have a lot of Pentacles here in the second row. Six of Cups and Seven of Cups. Someone is coming with like a very obscure offer or proposition, like it's not really clear. They might be basing it on past experience with you. Maybe you've known them for a long time. Maybe it's a childhood acquaintance or even lover or friend, and they're kind of relying on that with their approach, you know, for good old times or for good old times' sake. But there's something really unclear about this approach and very, very, even shady, I would say. So I would tell you to be cautious and observant and ask all the right questions and maybe wait a little bit. Like take your time to investigate and think about it. Another weird thing that is coming up, someone might have been hiding that they have children. So maybe they're seeing someone and they're not telling them they have kids, and then it comes to light somehow. And it creates a lot of confusion and distraught. Like, why did you hide it? Like, that's crazy. Why didn't you just say that you have kids? Like, what? Or another thing that's coming up is someone is confused with something to do with their kids. So if they are in a committed relationship and they have kids and they have feelings for you or something like that, one of the big things that makes them really, really anxious about this entire thing is their children. It's like, okay, what about my kids? Something like that. It could be something that is really on their mind, obviously, especially if they're hopefully love their kids. Then it's a very legitimate concern. I mean, if the marriage is failing, I would never recommend to stay in a marriage for the kids. That's not what I mean by that. I think children need to receive a good example of what love is, you know, because they're very, very perceptive and observant. And if even if you don't necessarily fight a lot, but you just don't get along or kind of cold to one another, or just, you know, it's just not, they pick up on it, and it creates their love language, you know. So best thing for a child is to grow up with actual love. And if not love, then definitely not the opposite. Better one parent single than two parents who don't love each other, who don't get along, let alone fight or argue a lot, because there is arguments a lot. Someone seems to be stuck in a relationship where they're really unhappy, and they're either scared to leave, or they leave and then they come back, or they want to leave, but maybe some financial burdens or restrictions are holding them back. I'm seeing two people who really, really don't get along, so I don't understand. So it's classic to stay together for the kids, right? But there could be other reasons. I'm not sure. Maybe one of the maybe one of them or one of you is not feeling well. There's some illness that makes it more difficult. Like you don't want to leave your partner when they're going through something, or the opposite. Um, there's also some mental anguish of some sort. Someone might be depressed, or has some anger outbursts and control issues. You got to be really cautious with that, Aries. Um, take your distance from this person and heal. You deserve serenity. You deserve peace. You deserve happiness. You deserve to feel safe. And feeling safe is not. It doesn't have to be someone physically violent. People can be emotionally violent and verbally abusive, and you know even silent treatments. Someone doesn't have to say bad words or, God forbid, use physical violence to be abusive with their silence. If someone just gives you the silent treatment for a long time and you live with them, or they're supposed to be someone who care about you and that you care about them, and then they suddenly just ghost or disappear, or if you live together, they just don't communicate, that's very harsh and very abusive. People don't understand just how abusive that is. And it creates such distraught to the other person. So first of all, if you do this, I recommend to not do this. If someone is doing that to you, they are not exempt from abuser tagline. They're not. No one defines themselves as an abuser. If you say that to them, they're like, "Excuse me, but I volunteer in the schools. What not? I don't know. Whatever." But when the acts or inactions create immense amount of distress to the other person, and something is used in order to gain power and control over the other person, like silent treatment is a power game. It's a power dynamic. You don't know what's going on in my head. You don't know what I'm planning. You don't know what I want. I love you, though. I do this because I love you. If they claim to love you and they don't talk to you at the same time in punishment. Now, I'm not saying if someone really, really hurts you and you just don't want to talk to them, that's a different thing. Okay? But it's silence or anything really. Think about the intent. If the intent is to defend yourself and protect yourself and put on clear boundaries, that's good. But if the intent is like to confuse the partner and get them worried or anxious or not knowing what's going on, and playing the mystery card, that is cruel. So know the subtle differences. Not so subtle, actually. Someone is trying to hide something and get away with something by confusing you. Very strong gaslighting. Don't let anyone tell you, like, cancel your experience. If you experience something that feels really, really, really bad and wrong, then it's really, really, really bad and wrong. And you don't deserve that. And you know what? Whether you're right or wrong, it doesn't matter. You shouldn't be there. If that's the dynamic, if that's how you feel with this person, that's not healthy. That's not good. Love is loving. Love is so loving. All the rest, it's not love. It's not love. Love, you wake up in the morning and you're just so excited that this person is right next to you, or that you're going to meet this person, or like you can't believe it. That's love. But constantly being insecure or with question marks or worried or anxious, or will they not, are they talking to me, are they not talking to me, do they care about me, do they not care about me, Have I done something wrong? What's going on? And if you're constantly in that mode, abort. Two sevens. The only major arcana is the moon card. Someone is really stuck in a rut and is not honoring their spirit, not honoring their soul, not honoring their heart, staying in a situation that is very, very hurtful and unhappy. And they give themselves reasons and excuses. Maybe you're using the kids, or they're using the kids, or you're using the past, or you're using the how things were. How are they now? How it was is not going to repeat itself to tomorrow. How today is going to continue and make the tomorrow. So how is it now? Not 6 years ago, 5 years ago, 2 years ago, we had a good time. Now, for a while. Okay, guys, I'm going to continue this reading in the extended. I'm also going to pull runes. I'm going to pull more cards, clarify, see the detail. Thank you so much for being here. Link to the extended is in the description box. It's available on Vimeo and on Patreon. I would love to have you visit and check out Patreon. If you want to study tarot for me and go through a shamanic spiritual journey with me, check out Tarot Masterclass Bunkai. Link is below in the description box. All the information is there. Karmic Shift and Liberation, very important special project that I created for this decade, the 2020s through the 2030s. Each sign, looking into your karma, past lifetimes, current lifetime, generational karma, how it all affects you spiritually, romantically, professionally. There's also runes and oracles. It's a party. An hour long. It's very intense. And it's very important for this decade and for this new earth shift and split. All right, I'll see you in a second, guys. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you to my patrons. Thank you to my channel members. I so value you. And I read all your comments. Bye for now. See you soon.